like Dishonored.
I thought Dishonored had some upsides, but
Mhm.
the speaking of games that have light weight to your movement, that game
Mhm.
just felt like I was just farting around with a jetpack like up my butt the whole time, and I don't know, it wasn't nearly the stealth game the experience that I was looking for. I like the world, you're right, like the
Mm.
Yeah,
steampunky kind of vibe with like that weird like I don't know, I don't want to say comic book visuals, but kind of comic book visuals. Like I thought that
like,
it was
the characters have very like sharp features, like very
right.
like stone carved features. They're very yeah,
Stoic.
they have a very comic book, like a noir, like detective comic look
Yeah,
kind of to it. Yeah.
yeah.
They definitely
Uh,
do. Yeah. It's the same with Deathloop. Through the same filter kind of, but
yeah.
it's also with a like 60s spy kind of tinge
Aesthetic.
to it a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, their world building is incredible. Like that's the thing. Like w- all the aesthetic stuff is really cool. I have mechanical issues and
That's
and
fair.
some storytelling issues, especially with Deathloop. But
Visuals are kind of like the Batman the animated series. Yeah, like I could see that
yeah, yeah,
with
that's
those hard
actually
jaw lines and shit. Yeah, I could
yeah,
see that.
that's a perfect sort of yeah. I was thinking kind of like Dick Tracy a little bit too.
Yeah, because of the
Okay.
noirness of it.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Rich.
Hola. Sorry, I'm
So
late.
you lost track of time, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Deathloop is monthly humble bundles, $12. You know, for $12, you probably could enjoy that game.
Mm.
Also, didn't they put it on Game Pass
It's on Game
recently?
Pass and it's on PlayStation Plus's highest tier
Oh,
as well.
hmm.
So,
But you know, at least with humble, if you had the
or
extra
no,
12 bucks,
the middle tier. Sorry, because
okay.
the middle tier includes the PS4 and PS5 games. It's the final tier that's the classics. I forgot about that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And it comes with 7 other games that Blue is saying. Yeah, that's definitely worth it. Like
Yeah.
if you even
Yeah.
liked one of those other games, that would be worth it.
I highly like it's one of those games that I recommend everybody play to form an opinion themselves.
Sure.
Mm.
I mean, for me personally, I think it was somehow more and yet less complicated than the Dishonored games, which is weird. But yeah, I recommend at least trying it. There's some
Um
cool systems at play.
so you want to go next then, Paul? That way we can get
Sure.
let Rich kind of
Yeah,
get his
yeah.
bearings.
You can settle in. You can get comfy.
Okay.
We'll talk. Um, this one's actually so. This is kind of cool. Um, let me find the name of the developer putting it
Jake, let
together.
me know if the music is either too loud or too quiet. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just trying to find the developer name so I get this right. Um, so a team called Retrotainment is actually making a Garbage Pail Kids Nintendo game. Um, Apparently they were inspired by the fact that there was never a Garbage Pails Kid video game on the Nintendo, and
No.
so they wanted to kind of throw back to that old school like those hard licensed games,
Mhm.
that kind of era. But
I mean,
yeah, so they
there was a toxic crusader game
I
Yep.
on the
know.
NES. You know what I'm
Everything
saying? Like, it is a little weird considering how big they were in the 80s.
well, so
And they got a
what's
movie.
interesting, well, the story brought it up is first off, the movie bombed horribly and was
It was terrible.
completely critically panned. People didn't like it. It bombed. And then on top of that, the company, I think it was Tops, they got sued to hell
Mhm.
and back by the Cabbage Patch Kids. And basically, like, the franchise died for a significant
Yeah.
time because of really poor decisions. So this team, who is also working with the creator of the show, The Goldbergs, Adam F. Goldberg. They're putting together this Nintendo game called, let me find the name again, sorry. It is Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Mike and the Quest for Stale Gum. It is also coming out on all modern consoles, PS4, Steam, whatever, everything. But it is getting an official Nintendo cartridge release that is playable on an NES without any of the modern features that are being added to the digital version, because I guess it's going to have like save states and rewind and all that stuff on
Sure.
digital. But yeah, it has let me see here. I think it has 4 playable characters.
Okay.
Mad Mike, Luke Puke, Leaky Lindsay, and Patty Putty. Um, yeah, they really, really wanted to create a like really hard Nintendo throwback to a property that never got its due on the video game market.
I
Uh,
mean, for me, the title is already kind of a winner. Like the stale gum reference, that's kind of amazing.
Mm.
I don't know, and honestly, I think that's kind of cute. Like trying to like, as opposed to because it's not like Garbage Pail Kids is huge even now, right?
yeah,
So it's kind of like fuck it, we got the license, let's just try it. Who gives a shit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And across that many different platforms, you're probably gonna gank your mind. I'll check that out. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how much it costs, I'll definitely give it a shot. It looks very like kind of similar to it's a 2D platformer to start.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to like DuckTales, like Mega Man, like those sort of that era specifically.
Yeah.
A little bit of like Little Nemo maybe too. But yeah, all 4 characters have like unique abilities, so you're gonna be able to run around and vomit on things. And I think Leaky Lindsay pees maybe. I don't know.
Wonder, hmm, as a side note here,
Hmm.
I wonder how many of those Nintendo cartridges they're gonna make, and if further on down the road,
Mm.
that's actually gonna be kind of a because I wonder if it's getting like the official stamp of Nintendo approval, like the 80s. Because if it does, that really does. That's not like just trying to put something on a cart. That actually does make it like the 840th game or something like on the console. So I
Yeah.
wonder if like would end up being like valuable down the road. Like, you know what I'm
Probably.
saying?
It's
Like,
really cool. Like it comes in a box. I am 8-bit is producing the
okay.
cartridge, which they do a lot of like collector's edition like throwback cartridges. They were the ones who did the Mega Man X 25th anniversary cartridge re-release where you could get a like I think it was like a transparent blue Mega Man X cart.
Hmm.
But yeah, they have a bubblegum pink and a turquoise blue cartridge that you can get
Dude.
with the box. Also, every enemy, boss, and NPC in the game is an actual Garbage Pail Kids card that existed, and they are all collectible within the game
Okay, let's see.
as
All
well.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Makes sense.
a lot of love being put into Garbage Pail Kids for some reason.
Hey, everybody has like there's a niche for something for everybody out there. It's just a matter of finding what that little niche is and finding the right person.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they from the sounds of it, they have a bunch of super fans working on it. So good for them. Good if you're a Garbage Pail Kids fan,
you're in
you're
luck.
getting, you're getting your due.
Yeah.
You're getting,
Finally, 40 years later or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
I wonder if the cart it's like so you both have seen like the size of like the chips set for like the NES, right? I
Yeah.
wonder if because it is, a new school one, if they're gonna have to like make extra room or the chipset's gonna have to be different. I'm assuming that is probably
yeah,
gonna have to be the
yeah.
case, But interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It comes out October 25th digitally, and
Mm,
then the NES releases sometime next year. They don't have a
cool.
date for it yet, but yeah,
Savage is sitting
they,
here saying bubblegum pink cart, he's sold.
Hey, you
it
know
It's
me.
looks
like,
I
it
do love
looks
me some pink.
really
yeah,
fucking cool. It
yeah,
looks so good. Um,
Wait, are you streaming? You just clicked on it, you started streaming.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry, was I not supposed to?
No, I just wasn't sure. Like, because like if it was me, I would have been like, all right, I'm just joining. Like, I'm too much of a fucking monster control freak.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, well, fuck it.
why don't you go
Okay.
since you got everything up and running?
Alrighty. One thing that we've kind of been teased about for a long time with the Steam Deck is the dock.
Yes.
And at Tokyo Game Show this past like 2 weeks ago, Steam finally revealed here is this dock for the Steam Deck. and they've announced price, they've announced when it's going to be on sale, because currently on Steam it's taking pre-orders. It's on the cover page. Shock and amaze there to no one, I hope. I'm kind of curious looking at the back of it though. There appears to be one display port, one HDMI port, an Ethernet port, a power connection, and 3 USB ports, and that's it. So it's like, there is a cable that connects to the power at the top of the Steam Deck, so it will power the Steam Deck. But we know from past articles and inquiries by other news outlets that it will not like upscale, or it will not like how the dock for the Wii powers it and makes sure that everything can be 1080p on televisions. The Steam Deck will not.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well,
why is this $90?
And like my other question is here, okay, so how do I it's on the dock, right? It's
Yeah.
plugged into my TV.
Mhm.
What are they expecting me to use as my controller?
That's a very good question, because it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
you've
literally
only,
like I mean, my assumption is that I could just plug like a Xbox One or like a Microsoft like
USB
right.
device. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that's really this is
The
like
IO is very limited,
yeah.
considering like, okay, Ethernet, that's going to be a given. If you want to be online, you have to have that.
Right.
If you're going to use it on your TV, it's either going to be display or HDMI.
No.
And then if you're going to be using it on your TV, you're either going to be doing keyboard mouse or a controller, which means you've got at least one or two of the USB ports taken up already then. So it's like, you don't have, for the people that were out there sitting here saying that, oh yeah, the Steam Deck is going to be a computer that you can literally just pick up and go anytime you want for gaming, and it's like, the portability, yes. The docking function of it, no. I'm not sold.
Like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, most people who pick up a Steam Deck have a huge Steam library and they already have a PC, right? And then, okay, I can understand the original idea. Okay, cool. Like, you want to take your Steam games on the go, like
Right.
lower end, graphically ones. Okay, that makes sense to me. But you're starting to lose me now, where I'm like, you're just trying to like basically ape like the Switch,
Mhm.
but the Switch, those markets don't really overlap the same.
No, they
Does
don't.
that make sense?
Oh yeah. I totally get what
Okay.
you're saying.
'Cause
And
I feel like that, like I'm a madman here. I'm like,
There's
what
like
the fuck?
a $400 price difference
Right.
between the two. Like if you go balls out with a Steam Deck versus a Switch, like
plus, on top of that, the dock for the Steam Deck is sold separate. It's not even
Right.
going to
It's
be
not in the
included at
box.
all. So it's
Right.
like, wait,
Exactly.
you just got us on the hook for $500, and you want another $100 basically for the dock? Excuse me.
Like to move literally from, let's just even say your office into your living room.
Mhm.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And frankly, if you are that far into the PC realm, you probably have it so you could just stream to your fucking TV if you really cared that much.
Yeah.
Like,
there's already so many avenues covered that like the hardcore person that would buy
Mhm.
the person that would buy a Steam Deck, because it's really not like it's not a casual thing.
no, not at
No.
all.
It's not
Not
like
at
the
all.
Switch where it's like you buy it and you have Pokemon and Mario Kart like out of the gate, or Smash. Like
Right.
Right.
it's a very targeted, expensive, like premium product
Mhm.
Right.
for people who are already in that ecosystem. So it's really, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know either. And frankly, I gotta tell you, like, I was already kind of like, on the Steam Deck in the first place.
Mhm.
Like this, okay.
Does
This
not
is
make
like
it look any
Atari
better.
Lynx. Great, this is like Atari Lynx level of like confusion.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why?
Yep.
Why with all these decisions?
Yep.
2 buttons on the bottom and the exact same 2 buttons up on top? Like, what? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yep.
The only thing I find interesting about the Steam Deck is that you can play Final Fantasy 14 on it now, so you can have portable 14, which is cool.
I mean,
As-
sure.
Having a portable MMO, if you are a heavy MMO player, is pretty cool. But
But I can't imagine the control scheme on that either. Oof.
Actually, the control scheme for
built
controller
with
Final Fantasy
controller in
14 is actually fairly intuitive, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And can't you have multiples of them?
Mhm.
Like, you can have like control scheme 1 and control scheme. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Basically, what it is you set up the D-pad and the face buttons to be your actual like spells, abilities,
Yeah.
whatever, and then left and right bumper and triggers. Those toggle between various different hotbar pages, effectively.
okay. Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
you can have tons of pages of
And then you could
hotbars.
just use the touchpad to select if you really need to.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably- yeah, there's
Okay.
probably
But again, like, this is a very specific
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
Mhm.
and again, you also would like, I wouldn't want to play like an MMO on Wi-Fi.
no.
Like, so you'd have to hardline it.
Especially
Like,
if
I don't know,
you're
man. This is all just jib to me. Like, it seems like not the best. Like,
especially
okay.
if you're out and about being mobile, because
Right.
like, okay, in the States, period, like public internet access is very spotty.
Right.
Now somewhere in
Right.
like Japan, where it's kind of, oh hey, we just built a building and there's public Wi-Fi everywhere, it's like, oh, okay, fine, no problem. So
Yeah. Huh. All right.
I don't know who it's for.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that is a decision. And not only that, I'll also say this. That dock is fucking ugly.
Yes.
Like, just visually. Like, the Nintendo dock basically kind of hides everything. And I have a shitty third-party dock, and that's the shitty third-party dock is exactly what the fucking Switch Steam Deck one looks kind of like. And I was like, hey, you couldn't even like, man, just
It's just a
$190.
little plastic bar with
Yep.
some plugs
that
on
it
it.
leans against. Not even
Yeah.
like it feels like it like snugly and could be safely
Mhm.
like. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
there's-
bizarre.
There's a satisfying click when you put your Switch in. I
Yeah.
assume the deck will not. The
Right.
dock, rather. The Steam Deck dock.
Steam
Yeah.
Deck dock.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Mario 64 level, Steam Deck dock.
Well, and that's funny. And I feel like with a Switch, if it got tipped over one way or the other, it would still be okay. Like the screen wouldn't get too scuffed.
Right.
But this one, the one side is completely open. So if you got a child and he tripped over the cord, if like I'm just imagining this fucking $400 piece of fucking kind of worthless tech, yeah, getting trebucheted into your fucking kitchen, like ass over a fucking tea kettle all the way through the air, like I don't know, whatever.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about other stupid fucking technological decisions because that's kind of a third of our show.
Anything coming from Steam?
No, but I have
Oh.
our second. This is our first favorite. This week, Overwatch 2 launched, right?
Mhm.
Everybody knows that. There's been a myriad of problems, right? Like they've been getting DDoSed. Yep, they've been getting DDoSed. They were having just They're literally having to cut characters from the game right now because there's so many fucking issues.
Yep.
So they're already kind of up to their tits with problems. But one of the other things that people kind of got incensed about was they had two-factor authentication, which I do think is a good thing.
Yes.
It just lowers the amount of cheat rate because free to play, in all honesty, it's just so easy to make another account.
Mhm.
You know, that's why Rainbow and like it's just all these games that are free to play have a problem with cheating. So one of the ways that fucking like Blizzard pissed off people this week was if you have a prepaid cellular plan, you cannot use that to use the two-factor authentication. Okay, so that's kind of obnoxious. Like, so I did deep delve a little bit more into this, but I'll get there in a second. What basically people took that as was a fuck you to broke people,
Mhm.
Yep.
right?
Oh yeah.
Like you can't afford like, Verizon or AT&T or whatever. Well, we're not going to go through your crumbum ass Cricket Wireless or whatever prepaid plan you have. And so you're kind of saying fuck you to poor people. Or people with lower incomes, I guess really would
Right.
be
Right.
a cooler way to say that. So that kind of pissed everybody off. Well, now Activision Blizzard, being of incredibly sound mind, or just smart people. Yep, also true. Um, they just announced Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
They're warning players, if you have a prepaid cell phone plan, it may not work because we need two-factor authentication. It's the same, it's the same week. Like, can you guys take a single week not to piss on your own shoes? Like, it's unbelievable how fucking good they are at screwing people over, and then just being like, crazy.
I
So
don't
we're
get
doing the
why
exact same thing again.
I don't get why you would announce that you're just gonna move forward with that when you're actively like stepping back from it on a game that's
Mhm.
actually out right now.
Right. That piss
Like
people
you
off.
already know that you don't have to do it and that you can fix it, so why
Right.
would you then double down on it for a future game? Like, oh, they'll forget by then, I guess.
Yeah, 2 days later. And like I can understand them saying, okay, like burner phones that you would buy at like a bodega. Obviously that, that's just too much searching in the network. I get that. But like you could easily do Mint Mobile, like Boost. Like there are still several because Weber actually chimed in on this on this is in one of our gamers chats, because he always used prepaid plans, but he was like, there are several bigger ones that you could totally still contact them, if you gave a shit
Yeah.
to figure out how to make it work, but they're just like, nah.
Google has prepaid phones.
Yep.
Like they have a prepaid phone service. It's fucking Google.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
that does not equal. Yeah, they got.
Yep.
It's a weird.
And like you, Alex, I did also run across this one and do a little bit of deep diving into it as well. But
Okay.
okay. They did actually release a update to the article that I found. Blizzard has heard the feedback, and they're like, "We'll do something to make it more accessible." On top of that, the way it's worded is you need the two-factor authentication for an Overwatch 2 account that is not tied to your BNet account, to your battle.net account.
Oh.
How do you get Overwatch 2 on PC specifically is what I'm wondering here. On PC, how do you get Overwatch 2 not through BNet?
Is it on Steam? Do we
No.
know?
No, it's only available on BNet. So I'm wondering, huh? Now I do recognize, okay, console players, you're not getting it through BNet there.
Right.
So I get that. But at the same point in time, BNet has its own fucking authenticator. Why don't you require the players to just fucking use that?
Yeah, that's very weird. That's very weird because so why are we adding, this is like slavery with extra steps.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you already have a BattleNet account. Why don't you just tie the authentication right to the BattleNet account and then you just never have to worry about it for all their titles,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like man, who is making the fucking decisions? Like god damn. Like we're just three randos. Like, you
And
know what
we're
I'm
coming
saying?
up with
Like,
better decisions
Yeah.
than them.
right? Like, yeah, like two of us have worked in the industry, but like we're three randos and we understand the problem here. Like,
Well,
and a simple solution.
Yeah.
Like,
it reminds me of the whole debacle with the Xbox One and their messaging and how they had this grand idea and they were basically like, we're going from 0 to 100. You can't do that.
right.
Mhm.
You can't just be like, all right, we're going from never enforcing this to complete enforcement with no exceptions.
Right.
You have to ease people into this. You have to release a game that maybe makes it an option, and then you can't just
Or if you're gonna do
blindside
it, the
people like
ease
that.
of use for
Yeah.
players should be 0. Like,
Yeah.
it should just
Right.
be absolutely
Yeah.
easy as fuck to do. You
Mhm.
know, pick up, just put in your phone number. We'll send you a text message. You receive it. It takes you to a link. You verify it. Done. Like, there should be no middle ground with that. If you are going to go from 0 to 100, that everything should be ironed out perfectly. Like, it should be tested so thoroughly that not a single tester on the team could go, this is a little annoying. You know what I'm saying? If all the designers and all the testers go, yep, great, super easy to do, then okay, fine. But this is
Your
like,
Blizzard, a PC oriented company who's been, pretty much there from almost the beginning of PC gaming as a concept. Like, they should be ahead of the curve.
yeah, not
Yes.
way behind.
They should be leading,
Right.
not
Mhm.
whatever it is that they're doing right now.
Yeah. And really, one thing I wanted to read off here is a quote from one of the people who, for Overwatch 1, played a shit ton of it. Apparently, he was really good, or at least in pug games and like that. His reaction to this, because he did use prepaid phones. He uses prepaid phone. He's not ashamed of that. But his quote here, as of right now, I'm ashamed of having a prepaid phone. Never thought I would be disqualified from playing Overwatch based on my ability to afford a phone contract. But here we are, Blizzard, the first company to make me feel like I'm too poor to play a game. And I just want to make a small correction to his quote, or a small addition, to make Blizzard the first company to make me feel too poor to play a free to play game.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
Blizzard,
That's almost impressive.
Yeah.
You don't have money to spend on their skins, so they don't want you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, sorry, they're $20 for every legendary. We don't want you poor people.
That sounds like some bullshit that Kotick would say behind closed doors. To
100%.
Oh yeah.
be like, we don't care
100%.
about those people because they're not going to show up.
They're not going to, yeah. Those are not whales, so we do not care about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, like, yeah, that you're right. You're right. And Blue chimed in and he was like, sometimes smart people use prepaid phones.
Mhm.
Like, because you can literally just be like, bam, done, moving on.
Yeah.
Not attached to anything. Like, I can move like to another provider. It doesn't matter. Like, so yeah, this is just awful all around the board. Like, goddamn, what a bunch of assholes.
There's got to be a better way to do it, to implement it.
I mean, honestly, I really do like. Again, I think two-factor authentication is really good.
Yes.
It's embarrassing when, like, dude, the cheating problem in Rainbow Six Siege is so fucking rampant, and they still haven't added that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, goddamn, like, whereas something is simple, because getting multiple numbers is hard and annoying and usually expensive. Like,
yeah, it's just annoying enough that it prevents probably a pretty significant number of people from attempting it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. So, and fuck, then you look at Valve. They've done so little for their own goddamn community that they're like, just play on Faceit servers. You know what I'm saying? They're like, they have Counter-Strike, arguably the biggest first-person shooter in the world, and they're just like, play on somebody else's servers. We don't want to deal with fucking trying to make an anti-cheat that actually does something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's wild to me, like, how little these dudes care about kind of shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
Literally say $1,000 a year. Yeah, see, exactly.
Yep.
I believe it is Paul. I think it's you.
Yes, it is. Okay, let's see here. There's a big one, so we'll save that because I'm pretty sure we all have it on our
Hey,
list,
baby.
most likely. Let's see. Okay, cool. Here we go. So, in the rush to make VR a thing, Meta recently just acquired 3 relatively big. They're not big studios, but they're pretty they're relevant in the VR space. They bought, let me see here, what are their names again? Camouflage, Twisted Pixel, and Armature Studio.
Oh wow.
Twisted Pixel, which I didn't know, I saw the name and I was like, fuck, I know that name somewhere. They made Splosion Man.
Yeah.
And Miss Splosion Man.
Yep.
And
Two very
then
good titles.
did a hard shift into VR after Kinect games. Camouflage has only made 2 games, it sounds like, Iron Man VR and the Republic games.
Oh
But Armature Studio recently did the Resident Evil 4 VR port.
yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Meta's, I guess, really gonna try and make a push here. I guess they also announced that they're working on, I think, 2 follow-up headsets. They're trying to create one more focused on workplace situations,
Yeah.
and then eventually making the high-powered headset for the sort of the future of VR gaming. I don't know how smart of a decision that is right now, especially seeing kind of everything coming out, like seeing how hard people are dunking on Meta in general, entering the what's the what's the word? The metaverse, yeah, is the name of the company.
You mean the space that they're creating that their own employees are like, no, we don't even know what the fuck to do with this shit. We don't want to use it.
That is 1 or 2 generations behind something like PlayStation Home.
Yeah.
Or VR chat. Yeah, they are. I don't know. I feel like bad bringing this story up because it's just such an easy dunk on like what the fuck.
Don't feel bad. I mean, we dunk on just about every company out there, so
No, but it's just so
Like literally
crazy
every week.
yeah.
to just bash your head against a wall like this, hoping that it's going to work. That's what it feels like with everything that they've been doing, especially acquiring these studios like this.
Well, the thing is, though, keep in mind, the people working on it, they're the ones sitting here going, we don't know what the fuck this is for. We don't even like it. The one who's sitting here going, no, you will work on this, is Zuckerberg. He is so out of touch with everything, though, that it's like, why are we working on this? And he can't give you an answer other than, do it, because it'll make money. Maybe. And it's like, okay.
This kind of links into one of the things that I wanted to talk about. This email got leaked this week from Vishal Shah, that he had to send out to the employees of Metaverse, whatever that is, like, which by the way, still motherfuckers don't know. Like, what are you trying to do? The Oasis? Like, you know,
Did
like,
you see they finally added full body avatars?
yay!
They finally got feet.
Yes, great. Who gives a shit? Like, none of us even like, even as all of us
Future
as
Alex.
gamers, we have no fucking clue what this thing is. Like, you know, is it Second Life? Is it like, I don't know. Anyways, so they had to send this email out, but I got the quote because I just thought it was like weirdly funny and pathetic. For many of us, we don't spend that much time in Horizon, and our dog fooding dashboards show this pretty clearly. So the dog fooding dashboards is, I guess, what they use internally to look at what people who are working on Metaverse, like, so you can see the traffic. So, okay, that's bad. Why is that? Why don't we love the product we've built so much and that we use it all the time? The simple truth is, if we don't love it, how can we expect our users to love it? Everyone in this organization should make it their mission to fall in love with Horizon Worlds. These agonizing memos is what the fucking article, they called it agonizing memos, by the way. You can't do that without using it. Get in there, organize times to do it with your colleagues or friends in both internal builds, but also the public builds, so we can interact with our community. Like, people who are building this shit don't want to use it. Like,
so we're at the
Nicholas,
point in history now where we're having corporate mandated Stockholm syndrome.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to love it. You are going to immerse yourself in it until all you see is meta.
Well, and okay, like,
all there is meta.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, so again, I worked at EA for a long time. And when we had new features come in, we would do like play tests, with like, okay, if it's a new online feature, the online pod would do it. And it would be at the end of the week, and they would, grab a bunch of beers and just go play a bunch of games, see, what you like, what you don't like. That makes sense. But this thing is so fucking boring and does so little that like motherfuckers aren't even like, okay, so I guess we log into metaverse and then we have our meetings in there, like, like what do you do? There's nothing to this. It's not a game, it's not an experience. Like, I'd rather go bowling with fucking Nico Bellic's fucking cousin than
And
like
everything that it does already exists in like multiple VR spaces.
right.
Yeah.
Like
And have
VR,
done.
VR chat has been a thing for forever. And it like essentially does everything that Meta is capable of right now. I've played like countless like painting and sculpting tools in VR where it's like you're just in a room and you can create whatever the hell that you can think of as long as you learn the tools. Like, and it doesn't even seem like they're necessarily trying to make it easier. They're just trying to put the Facebook or the Meta name. They're trying to put Meta on it and be like, yeah, cool. Well, when you say Meta now, like it's always gonna mean us.
And again, I don't want to fucking like keep harping on this kind of issue, but like, who is this for? You have to have a really, really good PC and a specific metaverse headset. So you're okay, and then we have to have that, and then like you have to give a shit enough about like VR to even get in these things. Like, I just once again, who is this for? Like, you've given us nothing to go on here. Why we should give a shit?
Yep.
But you want me to pay $800?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Unless the hardware starts being like dirt cheap, and
they just price hiked it.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. But like, if like big companies start actually investing in this for their people, that's literally the only way it's going to work. And then you still have to teach like hundreds of people, some of which have literally no technology expertise.
Yeah, basically anyone who uses Facebook.
How to
Like,
then wear an uncomfortable headset for an 8-hour shift
right.
with their coworkers. Like it's just a like until it's like holodeck level, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
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 Especially considering how they just released a new headset that's like $1,500, and they're like, it'll be great for the like production oriented people who use spreadsheets and shit. And it's like, so you want me to strap on a $1,500 headset onto my eyeballs to look at spreadsheets?
Excel. Like, to look at Excel. Okay.
What the actual fuck?
Well, and that also plays into they announced today
It's gonna
that
happen.
Game Pass is in beta now.
Okay, hold
for
on. I got a
Meta.
thing about that. I got a thing
Okay.
about that. I got a thing about that.
Like-
let's not harp. We'll maybe come back to that. Let's.
I was gonna
maybe
say, let's
move
just roll all the
on. All right,
meta.
fine.
Let's
We'll
just
do it.
roll them all into this.
Okay,
Since we're already
all right.
on a roll.
Yep, fair enough. So this is the title that I see. Xbox Cloud Gaming coming to MetaQuest store in the near future. And somebody had posted it in the gamers chat. And I was like, huh, okay. Well, I got the show tonight. I'm going to fucking read this article. I go in, I read the article because unlike most people, I actually read the articles. That's why we do this show, so you guys don't have to. So it's not like they're even in the beginnings of adding Game Pass to the VR headset that is Meta. It's not like it's going to run native VR games, and it's going. You know what it does right now? Literally, it is a big wall that you can look up and down, and basically you're just playing on a big screen. So if you wanted to play a game on it, it would be like sitting in a movie theater on like the third row, and you would have to just look at like, wait, what? This like. I have so many questions. Like, again, why? Like I guess cool. Like, but like not at all.
Every VR headset already does too. Like you can do that with PSVR. You can literally play non VR games in like they call it theater mode.
Theater mode.
VR.
Yeah.
And it's like it's awful. It
Yeah.
is such a like shitty, uncomfortable way to play those games if you're not getting literally anything out of the headset.
It's
The
not doing virtual
No.
reality.
No, the only application is if you're in a situation where someone wants to use the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
But if
I
you
am.
have VR set up that way, you probably have multiple TVs and you probably have a dedicated game setup. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, like you still have to have just an Xbox controller in your hand. It's not it changes the experience none, except for now you have all the added benefits of fucking neck strain.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Cool.
sweaty eyebrows.
yeah,
that,
sweaty
you know,
nose
Yeah.
and neck strain. To work
smells after like 5 uses of the headset if you're sitting there playing Game Pass games long enough that like to even get anything out of any of them too.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Just-
is
ugh.
fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well,
they're just doing it to do it. That's all.
yeah,
I feel
and the clickbait is real. Like obviously,
yeah.
the clickbait is real. I could, because Facebook Meta did link up with Xbox, Microsoft, like what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when they said, hey, right out of the box, it's coming with an Xbox controller. So I wonder if this was also part of that deal where Microsoft was like, I mean, okay, I guess we can like show you the UI, you can run the game, I guess, like, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if that was also part of like on their end what they had to do. I don't know. I thought of that while I was reading it too. I was like, oh, it seems a little sus because there's nothing cool about this, like in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This is looking at a
I would
floating
rather
screen.
play on my phone with an Xbox controller attached to
Right.
like a Bluetooth. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same experience.
Okay.
It's just bad resolution blown up or bad resolution really small.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What's your poison?
Yeah. And typically when it's bad resolution, I would rather it be really small so that way I can't sit there and be like, oh, look, that looks shitty, that looks shitty, that looks shitty, that looks shitty, the whole thing looks shitty.
Yeah. At least with PSVR, you're running it natively. Like you're literally just broadcast. Like there's no streaming involved. It's like basically your headset is a TV in that scenario. But with this, it's cloud gaming. Yeah, like there's so many layers to it that are just ripe for bad performance.
Yeah. Like talk about the fact that it's wireless. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
ugh.
Mhm.
Shit. I don't even like a good Wi-Fi card. I'm still like, no. And I just click in an Ethernet cable. I'm like, sorry. Like, no. Click.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alrighty.
Please get us off this topic. Please stop letting us like fucking soundboard for Zuckerberg here. I mean, we're shitting on him, but still.
Yeah. Am I next or who's that?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, we're gonna go to something that just happened this past weekend. TwitchCon.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly did happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
and well,
A
let's
lot
see.
of ambulance had to show up.
Yep.
It was an event that occurred.
It was a bone-breaking event. Let me put it that way. Haha.
Wow.
Basically, for the most part, the whole TwitchCon, I honestly don't give a shit about. The main thing I'm focusing on here is apparently the Intel and Lenovo collab booth. They had a, like those fun inflatable gladiator style pit things where you like knock the other person off the pedestal like that.
Like American Gladiators.
Exactly. Well, they had one over a foam pit. If you can call a foam pit somewhere between 12 to 18 inches worth of foam cubes on a concrete floor.
Which I'm pretty sure there wasn't even the like trampoline.
No,
that's supposed to be
there wasn't.
underneath it.
There wasn't.
Kind of the whole way it's safe in the first place.
I'm assuming not a lot of engineers were brought into this project.
Which is kind of funny you think about it, because it's Intel and Lenovo collabing, and it's like, wait, these are like the big brain people.
Twitch,
Well, they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
Like,
it's supposed to be.
pretty sure Twitch is like they've got to be $1 billion company at this point, if not close.
I would seriously
I don't know.
hope they're $1 billion company at the
Yeah.
very least. But the thing that is really sad about this is the simple fact of the amount of people that, after participating in this attraction, we'll call it, walked away with injuries ranging from dislocated knees, hurt backs, broken ankles. One person even broke her back in
Twice.
2 locations.
She was a Twitch streamer too.
Yes.
And did you see the video? That
Yes.
looked fucking painful. She landed right on her tailbone.
What makes it even worse is the simple fact of you can hear the audio. If you listen very carefully, you can hear the audio. She's sitting here saying, "No, I'm hurt." And her friend that she was jousting with is like, "No, she's hurt." And the like safety guys around are like, "No, get her out. She's fine. Just
The
walk it
announcer
off."
was like chiming in over everybody loud, being like, "Nah, she's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yep. It was a passing by off-duty EMT that saw her and was like, "No, do not move her. She cannot move right now. Because if she does, she may wind up being paralyzed from the waist down, and
Right.
that's on you guys then."
Right.
Here's the real shitty part, though. In order to participate in this attraction, people had to sign a waiver.
Mhm.
So there may be no legal action that they can take versus them.
Nah, because dude, you bring that to any court and you show them that video, the judge is gonna go, "Oh no, you get all the money you want. You get all the money. You get like I don't care." That was like rough, dude. That was rough to visually
There's
see.
some potential like criminal negligence involved.
Yeah.
If
That's the
anything, yeah,
thing,
that.
if it becomes negligence, the
Right,
waiver
'cause
doesn't mean shit.
I was talking to Paul about this earlier a little bit. Like
Mhm.
we just kind of glazed over it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this means they set the fucking thing up, and then what? So everyone that tested it just did a belly flop straight off. No one tried to do a cannonball into this. Like not a single person. Because if one person who was setting this up did do that or
Mhm.
try to jackknife into it, they instantly would have gotten hurt, and they would have been like, "Okay, shut this fuck down."
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
makes me think that they knew it was bad
Oh yeah.
and didn't test it intentionally because
Mhm.
they
And
knew
that
if
would
they
be
tested
definite
it,
negligence.
the whole thing would get scrapped. And then they just like which it should have. Like
Oh, yeah.
who cares at that point? Just like just nix the idea. You don't need it.
Mhm.
It added literally nothing of value
Yeah.
to the convention.
It's a marketing stunt.
Yep.
That's what it was.
It was.
It's a marketing stunt.
It was.
And people see the foam pit and all that shit, and they assume like, oh, that's gonna be fun. I can just jump in and
Right, but it's not like at like Matt Hoffman's house where the thing is 9 feet deep. And you can
in a
literally
warehouse.
backflip with a bike into it and be completely fine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That thing, like, how did they not notice? Okay, it's seriously 18 inches deep. These cubes are 1 foot by 1 foot. That's not going to stop you enough. Like, you know, like,
Yep.
no common sense on the floor at that time. Or
They also
whoever was in that
didn't shut
marketing.
it down.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
big thing.
It took a hot minute for them to shut it down, even after the really bad injury,
Mhm.
before they were finally like, oh, okay, we're going to acknowledge that this isn't
Yep.
safe.
Right.
And what's even worse is they did finally release an update to the article with a comment saying that, quote from Lenovo spokesperson here, we are aware of the incidents of TwitchCon visitors who sustained injuries in the Gladiator game soft foam pit at the Lenovo booth. The area has since been closed for any further use while we work with event organizers to look into the incidents. The thing is, though, the article that I found detailing all this information was published on the internet Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Meaning,
It's already done.
yeah, so it's like, okay, so you knew about this probably like Friday even.
Yeah, at least a full 24-hour period.
Yeah. It's like
Also, soft foam pit. Jake said with quotation marks. I would have done soft foam pit with an asterisk at the end and then very tiny writing at the bottom.
Results may vary.
results may vary. Yeah, definitely
Spinal injury may vary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless
Yeah.
America, dude.
Details are subject to change.
And it's fucked up too. And I wonder this, like, if this had been nearly as big of an issue if it hadn't been a Twitch streamer getting injured.
Mhm.
If it had been just a couple of randos, I'm sure they would have, responded.
Even a dislocated knee is
Fucking bad.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Like, that's long-term
that's
shit.
an injury.
Mhm.
That's an injury where you could that could reasonably happen even in a safe pit.
Sure.
A dislocated knee.
Yeah.
Sure.
Breaking your back in 2 locations because you did a butt stomp onto a foam pit. That's
Yeah.
that's a whole other level of negligence.
Still, even a dislocated knee, like, let's say you were big into basketball. A dislocated knee might mean you could never play basketball again.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of injuries are the shit that where they're like, sorry, this is with you for the rest of your life. We don't have cyberpunk level of technology yet. Like,
I meant that more in the context of I've broken my toe in my own bedroom. So shit can happen even in the safest of scenarios.
Sure.
Breaking your back twice, that doesn't happen unless it's a complete fuck up.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking Twitch again.
Oh yeah.
Good job, guys. Hey,
there's more
Twitch,
coming back from Twitch from my side.
Well, how's that keeping your community safe fucking project going for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
I'm so tired of this dystopian world that we live in where these companies just are whatever, let's just put something together and then we'll pay the punishment fees later.
Yep. Maybe throw a disclaimer on it and someone might read it. I don't know.
I looked it up and Twitch made 2.6 billion in revenue in 2021 alone. So
okay, keep that fact ready because another story I have, I'm going to need that information again because
that was also a 41% increase over 2020's revenue.
Oh, is that all? Just a 41% increase, huh?
So instead of 1 billion, they made almost 3 billion a year later.
I think it's you, Paul.
Is it me?
Yes.
Is it me? Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So this actually ties into something a little bit we briefly went over last week. But we actually got a leaked number on a PlayStation exclusive deal. Sony apparently, reportedly, I don't think it's officially confirmed, but it did leak. Sony paid 3.5 million to make Ark Survival Evolved a free game on PS Plus last March, or this March. Yeah, last March, 2022 March. 3.5 million just to have the game show up for free for 1 month on their service. Also, Microsoft themselves also paid 2.5 million to keep it on Game Pass in that same time frame. So we're looking at Ark basically making $6 million just to put their game up for a little bit. Years later, mind you, into that's Ark. That's something like Ark, which is a big game by all means, but it's not like a Minecraft or Apex Legends or Apex Legends is free to play. That's a bad example. But $6 million just in your pocket to basically give your game away for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
with the ability to revoke that game more or less at any point.
This is an interesting topic because we've actually talked about this a bunch of times. Because this is the first time they've shown us anything under the hood price wise. Yeah. You can look at this one of two ways. One, are they paying based on the notoriety of the title? That's why they gave them 3.5, and I'm assuming the company was like, "Fuck you, we're already getting 2.5," and they were like, "All right, well then 3.5." But this also goes to the other side of that. This is really good money for a smaller, maybe even mid-range indie company. You know what I'm saying? So
big
you put out a
sequel to that
Right.
game coming soon. Yeah.
Right. Like, and if you were a mid-range or even a smaller indie company, and Microsoft or Sony came up to you and was like, "Hey, we're gonna offer you," I'm just picking a number, $750,000, and we're gonna keep the game for a month or whatever. Still a pretty good deal, right? Because
Yeah.
you know, like I certainly would take $750,000. Alex Quino, the guy who
Yeah.
owns too many.
Yeah.
So I think like that's cool. Like, but it is weird to think you're right. Like Ark has been around for 7 years, 6 years now. And I guess they must still have a pretty active player base
Mhm.
because neither one of these companies is gonna piss away that much fucking money unless, there was like a hard empirical data where they
Yeah.
could be like, look,
Yeah.
we have this many players like
Yep.
actively playing our title.
And they still come out with new updates for the game to this day.
Right.
I just
Um,
can't imagine a world where 3.5 million, like where they would have made $3.5 million in March alone on sales of the game. Like it totally makes sense.
Right.
There's no way
Yeah.
that in that 1 month of March where the game was free and you could redeem it, because that's how, like with Plus, if you don't redeem it in that month, you don't get to redeem it anymore.
Ew.
Mhm.
You have to
Oh wait.
redeem it within the month that it's a PS Plus free game. You
Yeah, that's
keep
how
it
gold
after
is.
that, but you
Yeah,
have
that's how
to. Yeah,
gold is.
it's like gold. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And
But
Epic.
like, there's no way that they were going to make 3.5 million in sales of just the copy of the game in that
No.
1 month frame.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense. It
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
absolutely like no brainer if Sony's like, hey, we want to give you $3.5 million to like,
Well,
yeah, like okay, cool,
guess I'm
yeah,
just gonna
sure,
take this money and get the
yeah.
hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Like,
swimming. I'm gonna Scrooge McDuck this shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, absolutely. It makes sense, but like that, what a, like, that's so, I would love to see the data to support like why Sony thought that, and then Microsoft to then go back and be like, well, we want the game to be on Game Pass for 6 months. Here's 2.5 million. Like,
Right.
it's fascinating. There's just so many people playing games now that it has to, I
Well, and
guess
I
that's
wonder,
where it is.
like as a slight side diversion here. Like, let's say I release a game under Devolver Digital.
Mm,
I wonder if they're the ones who have to pen that deal, and then my independent company gets whatever percentage that Devolver then gives to me like retroactively. Because like
yeah.
Mm.
traditionally, you go to a developer, they give you money so you can make a game, and then that I'm sorry, I said developer. That publisher gives you money so you can develop a game, and then ostensibly takes a cut of all your shit afterwards. Right? They're basically fronting you the cash. So in this instance, because we're changing the dynamic now, right? Like,
Mhm,
because this is
Mhm.
almost like a rental service for Xbox and
mhm.
PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're so could Devolver Digital go, all right, well, we gave you, we were taking, let's just pick a number, 25% out of
Yeah.
your sales before. Now with this rental thing, we'll pen the whole deal. You don't really have to do anything, but we're going to take 45% of the revenue. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
that's a good point. It makes me think that's probably why it was 3.5 million, where that seems high for like just literally a month of access to a game. And like granted, again, you own it after that point, but you can only redeem it. It has to be so much of that money is filtered through so many hands before it even sees the developer of the
Right.
game, that has to be like, because like that's how a lot of, like, in the tech industry, like a lot of like bonuses that people give you, they give you a large bonus because tax, and then the actual people that money goes through, like you end up getting like a reasonable amount, but it gets cut down each step of the way
Right.
pretty significantly.
Yeah.
That, yeah, maybe they overpaid to make sure everybody got evenly paid.
Sure. Or at least they're like
Hopefully.
proper cut.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, $3.5 million is like, that's like 1 hour of ticket sales for a Spider-Man movie. What does
Sure.
Sony care at that point?
Yep.
Sure.
Same with Microsoft. 2.5 million's a, that's
Drop in the bucket.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of money at the end of the day. In that in that context, I would love $2.5 million. Don't get me
I
wrong.
mean, I would like $1 million. I would like I would like $500,000. Like, you know.
Mhm. Wouldn't have to do shit for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a quick one that I can do before I go grab beer and another drink. Also, do you want me to grab you a drink while I'm up?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay, I
that
can
would
do that.
be because I literally just finished my.
You
Oh,
want
see?
you want to grab me one too?
I will. I'll fucking put it in an envelope, like fucking fold that shit, throw it right in the fucking mail.
Just email it to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just try to smush it against my monitor.
Why not?
Yeah, well, that's how technology works.
Of course.
I'm getting into metaverse. That was a throw. That was good. Anyways, so I like this does have to do. This is more video game adjacent, but I just wanted to talk about it real quick. Magic the Gathering Arena, you know, has been out now for 3-4 years. Actually, I think they're coming up on their 4-year anniversary. And they've been pulling more and more weird shit into the, I guess, the lore and canon. Well, it started kind of like, okay, that kind of makes sense. They did Godzilla 2 or 3 years ago. And there was specific cards for Godzilla and Mothra and Rodan and all that. And I was like, okay, let's fucking go. This is cool. Like, you know, it kind of makes sense. Like big
Yeah.
monster universe. Okay.
I actually almost bought the holographic Street Fighter set.
Yep.
I know
Street Fighter was
nothing.
one of the worlds.
I've played Magic like maybe twice in my life. I do not really understand how the game works, but they sold it was one copy of each card in like a little plastic case, like a special Street Fighter case, and they were all the holographic cards. I almost bought it just to have.
Yeah, those are
I
called
almost
Secret
got me.
Layer, is what that is.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to learn how to play Magic, I will teach you how to play Magic because I love that game, and you don't have to pay anything anymore. You can play on Board Game Arena with me.
Cool. That's cool.
All right. So, as this is getting like years have gone by, like there's more and more Street Fighter came out. I was like, okay, crazy, all right. And a lot of it is these secret layer decks, which is a physical copy, and the prices of them are pretty ridiculous. Like 150 for like 15 cards. And there's nothing different about the cards. The art is different.
Yeah.
So it's already a pre-made character for that set. This is just an alt version. So, which people, by the way, really do bitch about the prices of these things, which I understand, because this is like alternative copies of like comic book covers, basically. Anyways,
Yeah.
at least you can play with these. So just recently, I just saw Transformers is coming to Magic the Gathering, but as opposed to Transformers just being a copy of another card, the cards are actually unique. They are Optimus Prime. One side is him in his robot form, and then if you fulfill a condition, you flip it, and he can be in his truck form.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, right. So people were like, all right, okay, this is like this is kind of what we're talking about. All right, cool. Art looks great too. But just today they announced Magic the Gathering Arena is getting Assassin's Creed and Final Fantasy crossovers.
I'm kind of here for the Final Fantasy. I want to see what the cards are.
I like Magic because the concept is a bunch of planeswalkers, people who can go through all these multi-dimensional things. Like, so it makes sense canonically. But
see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was a like lore explanation of one of these characters showing up. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
So again, canonically, that like, yep, you're right. That's pretty cool. But they announced it today. It's not coming out until 2024, so 2 years from now.
Yeah, they didn't have any art like to show.
No, nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. But like, okay, you're right. I can almost understand Final Fantasy, right? Storied legacy game, right?
And
literal.
There's probably some similarities in somehow the lore with Magic.
Honestly, the cool thing is it doesn't really matter. Like that's what's cool about Magic is that they can just randomly show up in your universe. But Final Fantasy like also is kind of cool because, dude, does that mean they're gonna have like 8-bit Sid? as
Right?
one
Oh, I didn't
card.
even think about that.
Right. Your
What?
your your brain is going right to Final Fantasy VII shit, like, or new school shit.
Yeah,
I'm
everything
saying we're talking they could be walking through any plane of reality here.
cool.
That would be very cool. Like, or okay, how about on one side it's this dude, and then on the other it's like another version of like, okay, so Cloud on one side, Sephiroth on the other, or how about Cloud on one side and fucking the dude from Final Fantasy VI on the other?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
could even do like polygonal Cloud, and then you flip it, and it's
right,
remake Cloud.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Each with different abilities.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say that with an example of Sid, because he's been in every single one. Started
single
as
one.
like an 8-bit one, and then flips over. It's like
Yep.
Final Fantasy 15 Sid or something.
Yep. Which is really cool. And Final Fantasy also has all the lore that goes along with 14, which also has had their world completely explode and then be reborn, and then
Yep.
so that like all that really goes together in my mind.
Well,
And
like,
then
mimics are a thing in 7 too, or not 7, but in Final Fantasy in general, like mimics are a thing. Like,
yep, time travel is a thing. Like,
yeah,
Yep.
like
100%.
elemental monsters left and right, like undead, all that shit.
Yep. And then my brain went, wait a minute, go back 3 words. Like, I went back and I was like, Assassin's Creed? Who's asking for that? Like, I don't even think if I was working at Ubisoft, I would be like, like,
Yeah.
yay, I guess. Like it again, it's a newer series. The fucking lore is all over the place. Like, what can Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
bring
We're talking
at
about that.
all fresh
That and
or
apparently,
new or
Assassin's
like
Creed.
that is just like that just feels like they must have just been like, I guess we could do some video game stuff, and they were like, I mean, call Ubisoft, they'll probably take the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was
It is
probably the
tied
first
to-
one.
So much of it is tied to the real world. Like, that's not interesting.
No,
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I don't care about like Egypt or Rome in Magic the Gathering. Like, why would you?
Or name me a fucking single fucking protagonist from Assassin's Creed. Ezio is the one I can think of.
My
I'll take
favorite
your-
personally is Cassandra from Odyssey.
You do
She's
play.
I will stand by her being good, but you also have to play like 120 hours of a game to get all the good shit with her.
Nope,
Yeah.
Steve, that's
Nope.
nope,
Nope.
never happening.
Yeah.
Like I just like this is just like such a weird, like, you have Edward from Black Flag, that's right, that was his name. Like again, we're just like trying our best to, like, you know what I'm saying, where as opposed to when I mentioned Final Fantasy, all 3 of us were like, oh shit, there's like
All
a
the
ton of
ways
cool
that they
shit.
work. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
like there's a bunch of different avenues here. This could be really cool. And then my brain went, why is Assassin's Creed like that is not the same league at all. Like, if you had done Dragon's Quest and Final Fantasy, maybe I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, kind of on the same vein. Like,
Even like Street Fighter and Transformers has like fantastical elements to it. Like,
and they've had comic book crossovers together.
yeah, like sentient robots, and then there's like, people fighting, literal evil forces within themselves in Street Fighter, and shadow powers and all this shit. Like, it makes sense. And then you get to Assassin's Creed, and it's like the most like fantasy element of that is the Apple of
Send
Eden.
down have the
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, they don't
article
even
for
care
that.
about the Apple of
Ask,
Eden in Assassin's Creed games anymore.
Alex
So,
for
like,
it. He's the one who
I
brought it
don't
up.
know. That one
Rich-
reeks a little of cash in.
Yeah, it does. Rich,
Yeah.
what were you just saying?
I was just Savage was asking for the article, the link to the
Oh, okay.
article, and I was like, "You have it, I don't." So,
Okay, that's fair.
but he would like it to look through it as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it on. Yeah, like, I don't know. That like all of that just seems so weird. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, even within Ubisoft, I would almost prefer them go to like Rainbow Siege universe. Like, in all honesty, at least I know the characters. They all actually have personalities and shit.
It
And
should have
like,
been Rayman.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. Like, we could literally like pick out like, how about Beyond Good and Evil? I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
only
was
one
thinking that
game,
too.
but it had more charm. Like Assassin's Creed. What are we doing here? Yeah,
Next, we're gonna
Witcher
get the
Magic the
Crew.
Gathering. That would have been Witcher Magic the Gathering, and
Yeah.
that would have made way more sense. Like, there's just so many more things that would have made way more sense than
sense.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I bet those numbers for like the secret layer packs for Assassin's Creed are gonna be zip. Yeah. That is gonna be nada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to talk about that. Thank you for letting me Magic the Gathering it up, because that's the first time I've actually got to talk about Magic the Gathering on this show.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be right
Okay.
back. Oh, you're okay. You're going to get beers, and then I'll go when you get back
Okay.
because I have to use the bathroom.
Alrighty.
So whose turn is it?
Mine. I go after Alex, and apparently this week in this rotation here. Okay. So you know how I told you to keep those little fact nuggets handy for Twitch? Well,
Think so.
well, get ready because we're probably gonna need those. I got multiple things here for Twitch, but you know what? We're gonna go with the one where Twitch decided to screw over streamers. I know it's shocking. Twitch screwing over
thing
its
that they do.
Yeah, Twitch screwing over the people that's making Twitch its money. Wow, shock.
What'd they do now?
Well, the thing that they decided to do is they went back to a lot of their, well, not a lot, all of their streamers that have been successful enough to renegotiate their partner contracts. And basically said, hey, you know that split revenue you were getting off every sub? Yeah, we're just going to say fuck you and drop you back to a 50-50 split. Because running servers costs a lot of money. This is also the same company that just made, back in what, 2021, 2022 was it? You had mentioned, or 2020?
2021 revenue was 2.6 billion, which was 41% over the year before.
Yeah. So apparently the 2.6 billion that they made last year, they need more to be able to run the servers that they need. This also being the daughter company of Amazon, which runs Amazon Web Services.
Yeah, which provides web servers for
just
so many other companies.
Yeah.
They're just making up problems.
Yes, they are. They literally are. So basically, Twitch went to all of their partners that had renegotiated revenue splits on subs and said, you know what, fuck you, you're now at a 50-50 split. However, they did also throw in the nice little thing of you can now stream, or you can now like have your stream on multiple platforms at the same time. That's nice, considering the simple fact of, well, the entire time, say someone has been partner and gotten to the point of being able to renegotiate their split. Twitch has had a chokehold on that person saying you can only stream on Twitch. We have an exclusivity contract with you. So people can now stream on Twitch and YouTube if they wanted to.
Partners.
I believe it only affects partners. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. Only partners, not affiliates.
If you're an affiliate that has made it big enough to be able to renegotiate your sub split with Twitch, then oh my god, how the hell are you still an affiliate?
Yeah, seriously, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, they will offer you partnership before you were ever getting to that point, because I think you have to have like at least 500 subs to think of renegotiating the split,
and you still have to have 80 average viewers.
True.
To even get to partner.
Yeah.
Like, and that's in a month.
Yeah.
So every single time, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this is literally like, yeah, okay, we're taking money from like millionaires. Like, so I don't mind that part so much. Like the whole, like, Amazon wants more money from these people because, dude, you've made it. Like, if you are at that level, you've made it. If you are a partner, you work full time as a streamer, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And frankly, like even the big streamers are like, I don't even understand why anybody gives us money anymore between brand deals and all the other bullshit. Like, if you're watching anyone who is not an affiliate, do not give them money.
Yeah.
Like, period in a statement.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate when I go to a partner and they have like a sub only chat. Like, fuck you, dude.
Mhm.
Like, you're only doing that to like take more money when you clearly don't need it.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some partners that are lower, but like, dude, if you're a partner, you're making a decent amount of dime.
I will say this though, to kind of counter your point of it only is affecting the mega streamers. I personally know of a streamer who averages about 100 people to 150 people per stream.
That's still really good.
Right, that is, but it's nowhere near Con Carnage or Lobos Jr. It's nowhere near those guys. And he's been able to actually renegotiate his partnership deal, the split.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
Unfortunately, that now just got thrown out the window.
Yeah.
So.
And the annoying thing about this is what they're basically saying is, we're taking more of your money. If you want, you can go to another platform and like try to build another community. Exactly. Which again, for dudes like Shroud, that's easy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, whatever. That's just more views for me. It's on different platforms, but who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But dudes like fucking Meaty Marley and like dudes who are in like the low 200 to 300s, like every stream, those dudes aren't gonna like want to do that. You know, like start up a whole new community. And this is something like we've bitched about a million times on this show. Like, people kind of watch their one streaming gaming service and that's it. Like, I never watch streaming YouTube shit, even though I watch YouTube videos all the fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I want to watch live content, I come to Twitch.
Yep, exactly.
My one exception is the HoloLive people are only on VTube. The HoloLive VTubers are only on YouTube. So that's like my one exception. But literally everything else I use is Twitch. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I would imagine that's how a lot of people are. Like
95% probably.
Even though it's easy because it's literally just another click, like it's a step that people don't want to take when they're already on a platform that gives them what they want.
Yep.
Right.
They're just like I said, they're creating a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nothing. Twitch is not struggling. Twitch is not having a hard time. Amazon is doing great. There's literally no reason for it other than they can do it, and you just, suck it up.
They're being
fuck you.
Yeah. Like Blue just said, greed. They're being greedy. Point blank.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
And putting the earnest work on the people who make them all the money.
Yep.
Yet again. Yet again. Like, how many times do we have to see them do this before we're just like, oh god, like
it's hard to get to that point as a streamer.
Right?
Yeah,
like it's really hard. It's
Dude,
not
it was
easy.
Right. I came from Mixer. Like, and I know it's been years now that I've been here, but like I came from Mixer and I was an affiliate there. And then Mixer was like, meh, and fucking, so then I had to start all fucking over again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And as a small, teeny, tiny streamer, like, man,
it's hard to even get just a check at any point from them. Like, you have to bust your ass, and it's like,
Speaking of which, did that fucking sub go through, Rich?
No, I still have no alert at all from it. Like, not even on Streamlabs. I don't know why.
That's fucking annoying because I have all your fucking. I'm subbed right now.
Well, I mean, like my dashboard is sitting there showing I have an additional sub since yesterday, but also in my activity feed from Twitch, it's not showing it. So it's like, Twitch, you kind of need to fix your shit.
Yeah, seriously. It's like they are not owned by a $1 billion company. Oh, wait, you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I hope you get the money.
Yeah, me too. That would be nice. Even though it's kind of just bouncing back and forth between us.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
Fucking whatever. Like.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts.
And that is true, Savage. Twitch also decided, hey, we're going to get rid of auto hosting.
Yeah, dude.
Mm.
Okay, like, all right, you know what? All right, I do want to talk about this. I was gonna try to not talk about this. Who was that service hurting? It was already done. It was there. I had quite a few of my friends listed, and all it did was if you came to my channel, it automatically showed like that. And all I ever did, and there was like two or three that like weren't like friends of mine. They were like this man Kiriko. He plays Magic. I find him to be cool. So, I put him on my host list. I even asked him, I was like, hey, do you mind? And he was like, no, man, that's cool. Like, so I don't understand what their rationale is. The technology is there, it's done. Like, and they were like, oh, this doesn't add to visibility of anyone. And I'm like, but removing it, wouldn't that remove what little percentages did occur through
I
that?
don't believe that. I don't
Right?
believe anything that they say. Like
Me either.
that, they did it because it was actually benefiting people.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason to do shit like that is you see a potential of losing money or people getting money in a way that you don't think is the right way to do it.
Right, because a hype
Like,
train is better for them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like a hype train is better
Does
for them.
nothing for Twitch, so why would Twitch support it? That's
Right.
literally all of it.
My question though is kind of the opposite. How many times have you gone to a person's channel that you knew was offline just to see who they were hosting?
I'm gonna call it twice.
Okay.
No. To see specifically who they were hosting,
Yes.
probably never. But I have fat fingered on the bar, like if they're and then there was somebody offline, and I have fat fingered, and then gone and sat there for a second and gone, okay, I'll go check it out. But like nothing's ever led to it, if that's what you mean. Like it's not like I like
Okay.
I think I don't even. That might be a lie because I think that might have been how I found Kuro, to be honest. But then again, I'm one of those guys who I don't search for people really, realistically, unless it's like a caster in an esport and I like them as a person,
Yeah.
or a game, realistically. And then, even then, I usually scroll down until there's somebody who looks kind of mildly interesting with a fun little layout, and I'll give them 10, 20 minutes to be semi-charming and cute. And if they have less than 10 people, I'll give them a follow. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But
done
you're
it
right.
a handful of times where I've seen my like active people actively doing it in my friends list or follow channels rather, and I'll go and check it out. And it's like, yeah, like a follow is easy. A follow is free.
Free.
Like, I'm gonna go if a friend is streaming someone else's stream, then there's a reason they're doing it, and I'm gonna go and give that person a follow too. Like it's hurting nobody. It's
No.
helping people. That's why they removed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And whatever, like, here's the real shit part. Whatever system they come up with next is just gonna be fucking god awful and worse than this by like
Oh,
a
yeah.
country mile.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and then we're all gonna go, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna go like this, little dollar symbol with their fingers, and then just disappear into the bushes, and we're gonna go, cool. Like, I honest to God, because I am only an affiliate here, and I've only gotten paid out like I don't know, like 3 or 4 times. If there was like a new cool like indie streaming service that worked well, I would consider it, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
Like if it was, because Mixer, that was still fucking Microsoft. YouTube, that's still Google. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not Justin TV. Like,
Yeah.
but if a new Justin TV arose, like Trovo, yeah, I've heard Trovo is doing some work, but again, I can't multi-stream. Um, I just wish they'd let, in all honesty, I wish they'd let the affiliates be the ones who could multi-stream.
Yeah.
Until you show up with a contract for me exclusively, I should be basically a free agent. You're taking 30% of my money and you're giving me nothing in return. Like, we should be the ones, the small streamers should be the ones that are
They're
free
giving you a
agents.
platform.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. There's at least 4 others that I can list right off the top of my head. So,
Right.
I mean, a platform.
They,
Yeah, there's 4 others I can go to instantly like that.
I think it stems from they basically they're trying to say that they're trying to treat everybody on an even playing field, and that's not how this works.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
That's the
sorry,
deal.
like the big streamers, the like people bringing in 15,000 viewers, those
Right.
people are footing the bill. Like they're keeping you afloat. You don't need to worry about all
Us.
the other people.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
The
you
little
don't
fish
need to
should
do
not
that.
come into your calculations, but the fact of the matter is, because that was like, because we talked about this because they said, whatever, I guess this was like March when they said that some changes are coming to Twitch. If they had said, okay, we're jacking up the prices for partners to 50-50, but all affiliates are going to 80-20, and you had helped out all the smaller viewers, that would have actually genuinely shown some like understanding and caring for the smaller streamers.
Mhm.
This was just another thing going, hey, look, we're taking more money from them, but they also get a bonus from it. So I don't know. Is that really like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
so
It's
shit.
just the blatantness of it, I think, that
Right.
Mhm.
upsets me so much. It's
Yeah.
just like you're not even like it's
Feigning
so
like you care.
transparent. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
we know what the issue is, and I'm so tired of like these companies doing this to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Especially when they put forth absolute minimal effort to fix,
Everything.
well, not really everything, but actual problems.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'm just going to segue into another story.
Okay.
So, another Twitch article I have is the simple fact of how there's a gambling problem on Twitch, like
yeah,
legitimate gambling problem. So, what's their solution? Oh, we're going to blacklist sites.
Yes.
What's the point? Because the owner of that site can literally just like add a 2 to their domain, at which point they're now around the blacklist. However, if Twitch were to say, okay, here are official regulated sites by governments that abide by rules, we will whitelist those. So that way you can't get to all the other sites as far as streaming them. That gets around the problem, period. Because for one of the shady sites to then get on the whitelist, they have to jump through so many hoops.
and people are just gonna find a workaround.
Yeah.
Like they could do that, or they're literally just gonna start creating code words, or they're gonna do it all in their Discord off stream. Like there's gonna be a million ways to get around it. Like they're yeah.
And they're and by the way, in my eyes, if you're gonna like really ask me why they did it this way, um, it's so they legally can't get in bullshit, because a lot of these gambling sites are cryptocurrency sites that are not located in the United States, and you're basically big upping them with. And again, this is generally a partner up problem, because you know what, affiliates don't have the money to be like, oh, I lost 85 grand yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like this is definitely, again, a higher up problem. So they're just doing the minimal amount of effort to get themselves legally in like the gray area where they could be like, well, you know what I'm saying? This goes back to like the hot tub streaming thing that was like a big issue a while ago.
Yep.
And then they kind of went, well, and then it just magically went away. Everyone, but even though hot tub streams are still totally a fucking thing.
Yeah, now it's a whole channel, and yeah.
Well, the thing I'm more interested, well, not interested, I should say. The thing I'm more kind of curious with this whole gambling on stream part is there are actual streamers like Trainwrecks TV. He is paid. He gambles a shit ton on stream on this one specific site that pays him $1 million a month to gamble on their site. And he's admitted on stream he has a horrible gambling problem. He's currently, at the time that I read the article, he was down, in addition to the $1 million that the site gives him per month, he was down an additional like 3-4 million.
Right. I mean, that's what casinos do too.
Right, of
You know?
non-crypto though, of like
Yeah.
US hard cash.
Well, if he's in a state where it's legal, that's different. Like, 'cause that's the biggest problem. Like, is that, and again, this goes into like the whole
But where are
Twitch
his
wanted to be like,
viewers?
right,
They may
right,
not be in his states, at which point
right,
is it technically legal for him to broadcast that site's gambling. So
right.
that's why I'm kind of like, okay, Twitch, you put forth the minimal effort to blacklist sites. Why not go the other way and find the ones that are actually legal and abiding by laws instead of being shady gambling sites and whitelist the official ones?
And I don't know if you saw this or not, but like, did you see that they said that there's no more slots? You can't do slots anymore.
Oh, I
Yeah,
might have missed that one.
yeah, you can't do slots anymore on
Okay.
stream. Because that was a big one. Although I can't imagine why anyone would want to watch a millionaire pull a fucking lever over and over and like, how boring is your fucking life? Jesus Christ, man. I have a boring life and I'm like, that is fucking boring. Yeah. So
Yeah, but at the
least
same
that's
point in
them.
time, okay. At the same point in time, though, oh boy, I'm just gonna stop it right there. I'm not even
Good
gonna
call.
continue that thought because I
Good
could
call.
go down a massive rabbit hole.
And we only got 20 minutes left, so
Yeah,
we
we
should
don't
probably
have that top of Twitch.
yeah. Paul, I believe it's you.
Cool. Let's see. Yeah. So this actually, we talked about the sort of a little bit about this last week, but there is reportedly a super powerful version of the 4090 that exists, the 4090 Ti.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Except it apparently melts itself.
Yep, I saw
And
that.
also melts your computer and pretty much destroys anything that it is involved with.
Trip
Like me.
circuits.
So yeah, the company is let me see here. Yeah. It was dubbed the RTX Titan Ada, supposedly.
Mhm.
4090 Ti is the official name. But yeah, it apparently is just, not like we said last week, nothing can use it. So it
Right.
just essentially tries to function and then it just kills itself.
Yep.
It just doesn't work. Like
Yep.
you can't house it. So while it's not official, because obviously Nvidia doesn't want to comment on melting graphics cards when one's just about a whole new series is just about to come out. They have reportedly scrapped this card completely.
Oh, they've scrapped it now.
No kidding.
Last I heard, it was just still in development, working out issues.
Yeah, I think it probably yeah, so here's the little bit more of it is thought to be a whopping 4 slots thick and requires twin 16-pin power connectors. However, supposedly Nvidia has ceased development though, with multiple reasons spelling the end of the Titan Ada for now.
Shock.
Yeah, again,
The
why?
9F will have magma just shooting out of it. Like you turn it on and just lava shoots into the inside of your case.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start using like liquid nitrogen inside.
Yeah, that will be $12,000. Thank you. Like, wait, what?
It only works if you live on a North or South Pole. And you play it outside. Your PC has to sit outside of your house completely in the negative 40-degree weather for it to even boot.
Yeah. The other thing, if I remember correctly, because I read an article about that as well. In their development labs, they were tripping breakers just by trying to use this, develop this damn card. They melted power supplies. They melted cards. They weren't mounting the GPU to the motherboard. Yeah. They were mounting the motherboard to the GPU.
Yeah.
It's like, you have a problem, Nvidia.
They hired a guy to stand there with a fucking fire extinguisher at all times. Like,
I will not necessarily defend it, but there is, I think, something to be said of this. Now, this really could just be a case of R&D leaking
Yes.
That is
Yes, I
possible,
agree.
yeah.
But like,
There's a
dude,
little bit of that behind this because, like, realistically, R&D, this probably kind of happens a lot. This has probably happened to every graphics card that's ever been created.
probably not to
Mm,
this extent.
Yeah.
Not to this
Like,
extent, no, because
like,
we're
come
hitting
on.
a point now where the power is just getting absurd.
Yes.
Where,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah, you're just doing it to do it. So, like,
Right. And until we can break like basically like the quantum barrier for processors, or we can just keep jamming in more cores, which is all they're doing at this point. GPU, it's like, what more are we even asking for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to be going this far. But I understand these companies have to keep making product, and you have to kind of shine a $1,500 turd. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, no, that doesn't really like.
and there's probably some marketing, mumbo jumbo that, like, just the enticement of a super powerful card that you can't afford pushes people to buy the affordable,
Sure.
the 3000 series.
Sure.
Like,
Right.
I'm sure that does work to a certain extent. Like, it works, with the PS5. When the PS5 was unavailable, PS4 sales skyrocketed
Right.
because
Yeah.
people were just thirsty for something in that. Like, it's the same with any console. When the beefier version comes out, people do tend to take a step back and get the cheaper option
Right.
because it becomes more available. So there's probably some, logic behind that, but also, like, this is a bad look. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, I
Correct.
didn't know about the mounting the everything else to the card
Yeah.
instead of the other way
Yep.
around. That's hilarious.
Yep.
That is backwards.
Yes.
So we have 15 minutes. I have 2 left. What's everyone else at?
I have one about Overwatch, which I'm fine skipping. If people don't want to hear more about it.
I've got a couple, but yeah, definitely not going to get through all of them.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to do the funny one or the other funny one?
How about we do a funny one?
That's a good call.
No, we're doing a funny one. Not
Okay,
a funny one.
fine.
All right, fine. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Fucking first real week on the show, and this motherfucker's like walking around like he's owned the place.
Yeah, he's running the show.
Yeah, seriously. In my house. God damn.
Give him an inch, he takes 9 yards.
Yeah, serious. All right. So I saw this the other day. You know that show, like how I like 5 Minute Gaming, Jesse Cox show that he does once during the week. Each one's a 5-minute episode on YouTube. If you like this show, if you like fast little snippets on basically the industry in the course of it, check that out on YouTube. But he alerted me to Nintendo is killing off its uncensored titties.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which maybe that they even were permitted in the first place.
So that's part of the conversation I like to have here. But so Nintendo Switch has, for the last couple of years, like 3-4 years now, been this weird like marketplace for hentai games and anime titties, and there's hundreds of them. I actually went and I like just did anime, and I just went and looked through it today. I was like, wow, this is a lot.
Really good example.
And then I purchased a couple. I only jerked off twice, so we call that a win.
We're not judging. We're not judging.
I
Get your
know.
money's
I know.
worth.
I was more talking to the fucking chat than I was talking to the two of you. I know the two of you aren't judging. You know me personally.
Well, you're obviously not talking to my chat. I've got Savage and Blue.
Yeah, no, I mean clearly not talking to those two. The thing that's kind of crazy about this that I'd like to first put this out with. No, you're not, Jake. You liar. There was a game that was set to come out. It was a Japanese developer that was putting out a new game on the Switch next month, and it was called Hot Tentacles Shooter. It is legitimately the name of the game. This is not the first hentai game that they have released on the Switch. They actually have 2 others. And they just got this email from Nintendo like 2.5 weeks ago. And Nintendo said, we are no longer allowing uncensored titties onto the Switch. All right, that's kind of fucking lame. Like just from the developer side, like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna release on Steam, I'm sure, because Steam doesn't give a shit. And Steam's like, put all the titties and whatever on it. Like, let's go. They want their 30%. They have no dignity, which I appreciate. But that's kind of fucking lame sauce for this company. Now they're gonna have to let down like their rabid Switch fan base by putting out a censored version with, I'm sure, and that is some work. You got to go back. You're gonna have to add censor bars, and you're probably gonna have to do it in like the whatever way Nintendo. Like, how many resubmissions are you gonna pay for? All right, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about just pasties? Is that still cool? Are we cool with pasties? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a little trial and error here too, right? But I just think that's lame for them to do this on such short notice to a company.
Like 6 years into the Switch being
right,
like that marketplace existing, and
right. So why are we doing this hard lift
in that world? Like,
right. And you're making the money, Nintendo. Like, and nobody was making a stink about it. You're the ones that brought it up.
They're the cheapest console on the market, so
right. And the most fucking portable, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it gets into a lot of people's hands. Like, it's weird that they're making it, because like Sony and Microsoft have always had this like, oh, get your boobies out of here policy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which again is a little weird because Nintendo
I have a really good example of that actually. Last October there was a game coming out for Switch and PS4/PS5 called 20 Ladies. And it was I think it was like it's like a puzzle game, and basically you uncover the art and it's supposed to be women scantily clad.
Yes.
Sony said, no, you have to change it. And so while Switch got 20 ladies, PS4 got 20 bunnies.
They changed the art completely just to be bunnies.
So like Lola Bunny style art,
but okay.
No sexual features whatsoever. They are fully clothed. They're just cute little anime bunny girls. Whereas the Switch version is like tight plaid like underwear on the characters. Yeah. And so Sony was like, no, you need to remove all the 20 ladies and replace them with bunnies.
See, here I was sitting here thinking that Switch got the 20 ladies and Sony got the 19 ladies.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me just put this out there. This is going to sound a little nationalist, but it is a little odd to me, Alex Quino the guy, a country where you can literally buy underpants, like panties, out of fucking vending machines is so prudish. Like, Nintendo, I can kind of understand, right? Like, they have this family-friendly vibe that they've always been trying to rock.
That's how they market pretty much anything first party, with very few exceptions.
Right.
The occasional exception. Like Bayonetta is going to be it's being published by Nintendo, like Bayonetta 3 is.
Yep. And 2.
There's your exception. Oh yeah, I forgot that too. Yeah.
Yep. But again, like, that makes sense to me. Sony, it's like, what are you trying to protect, Sony? Like, really? Like, what do you got? Like, really? You like? It's weird to me that the morality bar in my mind would be the other way around, but it wasn't. And now all of a sudden, Nintendo's like, oh, because what is going to happen is indie developers who make hentai and games and shit are going to start leaving the platform because it's more work. You still have to convert. Like, if you make a game on PC, you still have to do all this work to make it run on a Switch. And if it's a small team, they're not going to want to do that, possibly. You know what I'm saying? Just put it on Switch and or put it on fucking Steam and call it a day. Like, and I don't actually know. Does anyone know? Last God of War. Back to Newgrounds. Yeah, like, okay. And here's another question. Do we even know what Epic's stance is? Does anyone know if Epic has hentai full-on fucking games?
bringing up the store now.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I know that they have games that literally are blockchain on their store.
Yeah, I know that,
And-
but I'm talking about fucking tentacle porn here.
Yeah, I know.
Don't try to sidetrack me. I'm
I'd
trying
be
to have my tentacle
surprised,
porn.
only because the Epic Games Store is very small compared to Steam.
Yeah, so
Well, like the Epic Games Store tends to focus more on AAA with some like more notable indies.
I mean, I kind of disagree, but I check that place a lot because they give me a lot of free games.
Yeah.
But I'm curious as to know because I've never looked if they carry like just type in hentai in
No
the
results found.
nothing. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. So
They do not sell sexy games.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's gonna make Steam the last bastion for dudes who want to rub one out to fucking 2D anime girls who jiggle slightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
man.
have a question though. I have a question on this. What about dudes' nipples?
I mean, that's I mean,
I would
obviously, there-
assume.
Have you played Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
He's got his little swimsuit with his little tiny nipples. It's really weird.
Granted, that's also a Mario game. So, but like, what of third-party games? I mean,
Well,
are they gonna sit there and
Dream Daddies, right? The one that fucking Game Grumps made.
Yep.
Like there was definitely sexual. Like now again, all this was saying is that you can't show uncensored tits anymore. It's not saying that you can't have sexual content. It's just saying you can't show tits. But I mean, that's like buying a cupcake for no frosting.
Just eating the
What
bottom
a
of it.
terrible fucking metaphor that was. Okay, I'm just saying like.
But that's true though. Yeah, it's like buying a cupcake and just eating the bottom of it and then
Right,
throwing the rest
right.
away. Like
Yes,
And
exactly.
expecting
the stump.
nutritional value out of it too.
Like,
yeah,
like,
there's a full package that if you take one or the other out, it's not the same thing. Yeah, like you're not getting what you showed up for.
right. Because again, like people who buy hentai games, like you're clearly in it to like fucking at the very least, it might not be a whack it situation, but it's like a precursor to whacking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean we all
Priming
have
the
those,
pump.
you know?
Pre-gaming. You're pre-gaming.
Right, priming the pump. Right, exactly right. Like so I don't know. Just seems a little weird. It seems like a weird line in the sand to draw, like out of nowhere that no one was asking for. If like a big group of mothers from America, a bunch of Karens got together and they were like, "Ah, I found boobies on my son's Switch," I could like maybe understand why you would change this direction, but like doing it out of nowhere makes no sense to me.
Yeah, like we have bigger like the gaming community and like the people outside of the gaming community that like are against it. They have different issues right now. Like there's no one like they have issues with it being like gambling, like kids having access to like microtransactions and gambling or they're, that's the
Predators
stuff they're worried about.
online. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. They're not worried about booting up a
Mixed.
game and there being like you play 10 hours and then all of a sudden somebody's topless at some point. Like that's not a fight that's being actively fought right now.
Right.
So
After hot coffee, we were kind of like, all right, we're all good with this, right? Like,
yeah. Like it's so bizarre. And then it just put them in a different marketplace.
right.
Password like family control the
Yeah.
marketplace. Like we were sitting here talking about this to like the factor the phone thing with I can't think of the whole word, but the two-step authentication with Overwatch. Like do that to the store. Like there's so many steps that you could take to make it safe and approachable for people where like only the people that really want it and should be playing it can access it. Yeah. And I guess just no one wants to build that infrastructure. I don't know what the issue is.
Seems like the cheapest way to do it. That would be their answer. Well,
And
this
you
is the cheapest
still
way to do
make
it.
money.
Fuck it. Yeah.
But it's also like I look at it like Nintendo. They're like, if you've ever been in the eShop on the Switch, it's not good. It's
No, it's
very
not.
No.
laggy. It's really hard to navigate.
And you can easily put a lock on it.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, super easily. Like, even my ex, she had an 11-year-old. They had 2 Switches, and hers was the only one that like had a bunch of games on it. And whenever her son would be like, "Hey, you know, can I play this?" She'd be like, "Yeah, sure." But you know, she would literally be like, already have the store locked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she would just download it for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, or if it was already something that she had on hers, she knew that the security was already there. So I don't see what the problem is.
I would love. I just wish that they would tell us why they're doing it. But I guess I just have to assume when they don't tell us, it's because there's no real reason.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just doing it to do it. So
Okay, we got time for one more. Who
I
wants it?
believe it. I believe it's you because I did the melting cards and then we went to that and then so
Okay.
Oh wait, is your the Overwatch one?
Yeah, mine's Overwatch.
I don't know.
I mean,
Uh,
if we don't want to do it, that's fine.
we could do The Sims 4 real quick.
what's up with the Sims 4?
Yeah.
I got a Sims 4 story.
Sure. Why not?
Sims 4, I love The Sims. I'm going to start off here. I think that series is fantastic. But they've been in a little bit of weird hot water because of the amount of bugs that have happened and the weirdness of the bugs.
Yes.
So it's not so much like the game is shitty. It's just that there's been a couple of odd things that have happened. First and foremost, there was the incest that was
Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was.
Yep.
incest. You could bed down your sister slash brother. So that was a big thing. So new content drops. It's called Sims 4 Werewolves. Which is awesome, and I instantly wanted it. I was already like, oh man, a werewolf based one, because like all the other ones have been vampire based, so it's cool that like they added werewolves. So,
Yeah.
ton of fucking issues came up with this. But the werewolf centric bugs, like humans being able to sniff each other, because if you're in a werewolf form, you can basically sniff another Sim's butt because they're dogs, like, which is hilarious and amazing to me. Like, I genuinely think that's great. But I guess the bug was even in your non-werewolf form, you could sniff another person's butt in conversations. Still see no harm in that. Then there was the werewolves have a pack hierarchy. So there's the alpha, and then there's like all the other werewolves below you. And the one who was in the lowest of the totem pole would basically go insane and just start like attacking people, which is kind of cool. Like I like that. That's cool. But the bug was that would happen to the alpha. So even the alpha, so like 2 people in the same pack were just randomly flipping out and like attacking other Sims. Hilarious, but fine, whatever. Then there was the high school years update that came out in July. So this just suddenly, apparently, people just started to figure this out. It facilitates accidental sibling incest again. God damn it. Unbelievable. So basically what it boils down to is they had this new system when you were in high school that you could put a note in other Sims lockers to ask them to go to prom. That would then trigger a romantic relationship between these two. But they didn't think far enough ahead, and you could once again put a note in your sister's locker or your brother's locker, thus now triggering a romantic fucking story.
Oh god.
I like part of me thinks that like I wish that they'd almost just be like, yeah man, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Right?
Well,
Who's
someone's gonna restore it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and who's it hurting? Like that's hilarious shit that if you're weird and you want to do on your own Sims game, it's not online.
Dude,
Like
Game of Thrones is
right?
like one of
That
those
was
popular shows, and people were like, didn't it's gross, but people like still,
accepted it.
still
Yep.
flocked to the show in
Yep,
spite of it.
season
So,
1,
like,
and that was again being presented to the masses. Like if you wanted to do that in your own single player campaign, Why bother stop that? Like,
Yep.
kind of a thing. But I think that I thought they were just done
It's
talking
not
about
any
hentai
weirder
games, and
than
now on
people
the incest.
making.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, Jake.
it's
Um,
not any weirder than people making like putting problematic humans in the game and then building their character having a life with said problematic people.
Mhm.
Like, there's someone out there who has like a 4-kid family with Hitler.
right,
Like,
right.
absolutely. Like,
So what do you care, right?
Yep.
Like, so what do you care?
yeah,
Um,
it's a creation tool, just, whatever.
Yep.
just let it go. Who cares? But they. Oh, God, Rich.
I was gonna say my one question as far as the werewolf thing, if you like go combine that with say the high school thing, and you then have the romantic relationship with say you being a human, and then you have a romantic relationship with a werewolf, does that mean does that bring a whole new definition to doggy style?
I mean, yes, pretty much any werewolf sex pretty much does that. that's just the general swath right there. Yeah.
But
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, sure, yep, totally does. Also, it'd be super cute if you didn't have if you couldn't deliver it to their locker, if you had to drop it off at like their doggy house outside of your.
that'd be funny.
That would be funny. See, like, and I think like that's the thing that like I don't understand that like the design the like I mean it's EA, right? They're like
Yeah.
control freaks, like the company, but I feel like all of that is who cares? Again, like all of these weird, funny bugs. I will say this though too. This was super cute. So I went and I read the patch notes, and they were listing out the bugs. They were cracking jokes in the fucking patch notes. So like when they were talking about the butt sniffing thing, in parentheses at the end of it, it was like, I mean, one good butt sniff is something, but two good butt sniffs, way next level. Like, why would you put that in your patch notes? See, like that team is clearly kind of funny and kind of rolling with the memes of it. Like, so then why wouldn't you just let people do them? You know, like who cares? Like, what's the fucking difference? But this is the same company that like they were like super proud about being like, yeah, you can just marry anybody, like it doesn't matter sex wise, you can marry a male to a male or a female to a female, like like if you're gonna make a sandbox, it has to be a sandbox.
Mhm.
So but you have to let that control go, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, it reminds me of the if you had a pirated copy of
No, Jake.
Simcopter, it would replace every NPC in the game with men in like speedos,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was gay in
Mhm.
the entire city if you played a pirated copy of Simcopter. It
Mhm.
was a method to like deter people from playing the pirate, but it's like ends up being like
Hilarious and
humorous in its
amazing.
own way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Granted, like
like
it's a little problematic that was their attempt at a joke in like the 90s.
100%,
They were
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
100%. Yeah.
but it's like in a similar vein of like they have a way, they have a non-professional way that they approach these things.
Well, and funnily enough, like that is like you're right, super inappropriate back then. But now, if you toted that as a feature, if you were literally like, everybody's gay now, hilarious, like, and you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
leaned into it,
It's
I
all
think that
about
could
the
be
show.
great,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and kind of positive, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it would piss off the people who get pissed off would be the people that I would want to be pissed off about it. Like you pirated the game and then you were mad that you're all gay. Oh, how unfortunate. Like fuck those people. Like whoever was gonna get pissed off about that, fuck those people. Like that would be
Yeah.
kind of funny. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be what, hoisting them by their own fucking petard. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck them. Like I like it is super funny that like a brilliant idea like that. Like, okay, you could also cow level it. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
Diablo, like there's a bunch of different ways. Like, and
Mhm.
honestly, I feel like making everyone gay is not. Maybe this is because of my own Alex Quino thing, but if you made everyone fat, and you were like making fat jokes about it, like that would be insulting. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being like, yeah, everyone's gay now in your face, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
It's
that
totally a matter of the
normalizes it.
year because, like, yeah, at the time they were definitely probably like, we're trying to make
Mhm.
your game intolerable to all the straights for
Right.
pirating it, whereas now like it would be welcomed with open arms. It'd be
Honestly.
like, well, cool, Simcopter's gay, let's play.
Dude, honestly, they should have a mode where you can just start off like clicking on it and just be like, everybody's gay, Simcopter, let's go. Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, what they really should probably do nowadays, if they can detect that the game is pirated, just have it be a thing where it automatically sends them to Meatspin.
TS Meats, go baby. We have now downloaded your data straight to Grindr. You know, to be honest, I bet percent-wise, there'd still be some happy campers in that. Like, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
Set up
just looking at like numbers. Like, God, I love our show. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Oh God.
All right.
So good.
All right. It really is. All right. I'm gonna go say goodbye. Rich, you go say goodbye, and then we'll meet back here, and then we'll say goodbye to each other.
Sounds good.
By the way, bye,
yeah.
Rich's chat.
Bye, Alex's chat.
I would like to say this before we leave. I like this new format. This is great.
Mhm.
We're not sitting in the same room. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to breathe up my fucking smoking air. Like, this is lovely.
My comfy chair.
Yep,
Got my
comfy
lights
chair.
going. I'm
Yep.
drinking beer.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yep. No,
This is awesome.
I'm a big fan of this. I'm really glad this first episode like really felt amazing. So thank you both for joining me.
Blue is
Yeah.
even sitting there saying that the three-way conversation is nice as well. So
Cool, good. I'm glad that you're enjoying it too, Blue.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of vibing.
yeah.
All right, I will talk to you guys in a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for tonight. We are done with the show, guys. So sorry it had to come to an end. But we will be back. I will be back tomorrow. We'll be continuing on with some more Horizon Zero Dawn and making our way through that. Who knows what we'll run into besides robotic dinosaurs or animals or whatever. We'll just figure out what's going on. But till then, I will catch you all later.